Hello Goodie Tissues, my name is Aubrie Rose. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be going over a couple of things. One is going over what exactly my routine looks like for drafting book one, because I did not really go over it well and I didn't really tell anyone why I was waking up at 5 a.m. And the second thing is stuff that I learned about waking up at 5 a.m. or yeah, hopefully this is the same angle. I just realized while editing that I did not go over why I started doing the routine. My main character works at a bakery. He lives and works at a bakery, and so I decided I would try to do a sort of baker's routine while I was writing. And I kind of want to do that for all of my books, not the baker's routine, but like looking at my main character, seeing what their normal schedule would look like, and then making a writing routine based on their schedule. So like for this person, because he works at a bakery and he knows how to make coffee, I asked my dad to bring me coffee because he knows how to make it, and he already makes coffee at like the same time, so it wasn't inconvenient. And then I would try to like eat something that was a baked good for breakfast, and I baked a few things while working on this project. So that was really fun, and I want to continue to do that for the rest of my projects and the rest of my series, so you will see that. So that's something that I like to do, and because my main character was a baker, wakes up early, I decided to wake up early. And then also before I get into what my daily routine looks like, for this one specifically, I had my candle. I bought themed candles for all of my books, so I have a candle to light while I'm drafting during the sessions, and then I used old writing sprint lives to write this draft. I'm not going to do that the same for all of them, but I used some of Sarah Sutton's old YouTube live streams, and I used some of Kate Kavanaugh's old YouTube live streams to write my draft. And I would kind of speed up the time while they were talking, so I would still get a break, but I could also like pretend that I was with other people, and that helped a lot while I was drafting that one. But for the next book, we'll get into that later, but I'm not going to be doing the same thing. So yes, I did want to just give you that before, and now I'll get back into the video. So basically, I woke up at 4:45, and then I started writing at 5, and I kept writing for the next 5 hours, or like that was my session. So like I could take breaks and everything, but writing was the only thing that I could be doing from 5 to 10, if that makes sense. Anyway, and then at 10 I worked out, showered, looked over my brother's lesson for language arts, and then did school with him at 12. And then for the first week, I tried to blog and do social media after that, so at 1. And then at 2, I wanted to start the next project. And then at 5:30, I wanted to work on another project. And then at 8 p.m., I wanted to get ready for bed and read. And at 9, I would be in bed. But one thing that I learned from waking up at 5 a.m., well, that's not even like a really something that I learned from 5 a.m. that's just a me thing, is sometimes I schedule things out and I think they will work, but then when I go to actually do them, something happens and the schedule doesn't work as well for me. So for this case, for the next week, everything stayed the same, except for when I was done doing school with my brother, I couldn't do social media or blog work because I would just end up like making a YouTube video and then watching YouTube while it was uploading and then never getting off of YouTube for hours or something along those lines. Like I would just end up scrolling. And so that was like, okay, I've got to put something else here, because if I go on YouTube right here, it's a bad time for my brain and it just wants to scroll and take a break. So I decided to switch working on the next friend group project to 1 p.m. And then after that, I would work on blog and social media work. I didn't actually blog very well, so another thing that I learned about me is that I need to have my blogs planned out. I can't just come up with an idea, spur of the moment, and write a whole blog post about it and post it. So then after blog and social media work, I would work on my Ghost Girl series playlist in the description, another project, and I also put reading in here. So while I was reading, I was working on a 5th project, and then at 8 I would get ready for bed and read, and then at 9 p.m. I would go to bed. So I was very productive for at least a couple of the days. I was working on like 5 projects and I was so happy because I was getting stuff done and I was being productive, and that was great. So something that I did like about waking up at 5 a.m. was just like having that schedule and that routine, which I can do regardless of waking up at 5 a.m. or not, whether I'm waking up at 5 a.m. or not. So definitely, if you don't have anything to do, if you work from home or basically like I do, you really need to have a set schedule, and that is something that I've been trying to do, and so it worked well. But I also learned that I don't like waking up in the morning. I already knew this, but I did it anyway. So I don't like waking up in the morning. I almost cried like the first day when the sun came up, and I was like, no, I want it to be dark still. And yeah, and I much prefer staying up late. Like, even though I was tired and I knew I needed to go to bed, this is more of a discipline thing, but I just wanted to stay up at night, and I didn't want to go to bed and have to wake up early in the morning. So I like to stay up. I don't like to wake up as early in the morning. But I also learned that I can wake up at 5 a.m. and survive. It wasn't really difficult to like wake up because I didn't really think about it. I didn't give myself options. It was just, okay, this is the thing that I'm going to do, and it's only for like 2 weeks. It was only supposed to be for 2 weeks, or like 2 to 3 weeks. And then I was going to be done with it. So I think knowing that it was short term, and then also having something specific that I needed to wake up for, that I was going to wake up for, helped. So definitely, if you're going to start waking up at 5 a.m., you have to have your reason, and you really have to have a goal that's like what you're doing right after. And that helps, I think. And yeah, so I know that I can wake up at 5 a.m. I also know that I don't like to, but I got a lot of work done, but I think that was mostly because I just needed a schedule, and I became like more productive with this schedule. So if I stop being as productive, I may have to go back to the schedule because it was working well, or I just have to put a little bit more effort into moving things around that I want to do to make a good schedule. So yes, I think that was all. Staying up was a little bit difficult. Sometimes I would nap during my writing breaks. So yeah, but waking up at 5 a.m. was successful for me. However, I do not want to keep doing it, so I'm very excited to not be waking up as early for my next project, but I don't know how early I'm actually going to be waking up. That is all. Let me know if you have ever done a 5 a.m. challenge. I don't know if I would recommend it. It depends on the person and like what you're waking up at 5 a.m. for. So once I heard your like goal, I would cheer you on, but before that I'd be like, why? Just sleep. Yeah, book 1, draft 1 is done, and I am working on the next one. So stay tuned, subscribe, like, and yeah. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next one.